diamonds in the rough. NFL Draft Diamonds. Time to shine.
Hello, I'm Jimmy Williams with NFL Draft Diamonds, and today I have with me Robert Jones, who's an offensive lineman out of Middle Tennessee State. How's it going, sir?
It's going good. How you doing?
It's going, man. Where are you at right now? Where are you training, preparing for this upcoming draft?
I'm in Tampa, Florida, training with Yo Murphy Performance.
Nice. Tell us a little bit about yourself. I mean, give me like a brief history, if you don't mind. Let the viewers know a little bit about who Robert Jones is. Tell me maybe where'd you grow up?
I grew up in Chicago, Illinois.
All right.
Come from there. I went to Gary Coleman College Prep, where I started playing football my junior year of high school, and then I started playing late because I always grew up thought I was gonna be a basketball player, but things didn't work out in my favor. So I had a coach named David Hampton. He played in the league for a little bit. He pulled me into the football side my junior year, and I ended up went to different schools, but I ended up playing my first year of varsity football at Rockford East in Rockford, Illinois, with E-Raps with Gary Griffin, and then from there, I was fortunate enough to get an opportunity to go play JUCO ball in Highland Community College in Kansas, and I played 2 years there. When I was in high school, I played D tackle, and then when I went to JUCO, I asked the head coach, "Can I move to O-line?" He moved me to O-line. I went to left guard. Played 2 years there. My first year, I started the last 4 games of the season, and my second year, I started all 9. And after that, I had a handful of offers, but it came down to me wanted to go somewhere where I was needed, and I just wanted to fill up a depth chart. And I felt the the love and just the home with Coach Stockstill, Coach Mallory, Coach Pollard, and Coach Franklin. So I committed to Middle Tennessee State, went there, played right tackle. The rest is history.
Gotcha. So, I mean, I personally feel like a lot of people are probably projecting you at guard. Is that a safe thing to say? I mean, you think that is that what most people are telling you these days? I mean, obviously you played right tackle and right guard, but I mean, can you confirm that one way or the other? Are people saying, hey, he's a guard or what?
Yeah, some a lot of teams saying I'm a guard. You got some teams saying I'm a tackle, but I feel like honestly I can play any position on on the line. I feel like I'm so new to this this game, to football, to offensive line in general. All I need is a little coaching. I'll be perfection.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of times what happens when you have these evaluators look at guys, they're like, well, how big is he? And in my notes, I have about 6'4", 310 pounds, which I mean, at first glance, you're like, that's not a tackle. But when you measure the rest of you, I know that's kind of a funny thing to say, but you got a pretty decent wingspan, about 81 plus inches. So you could certainly be used out there at right tackle given a team's need. But again, kind of like we saying, I mean, I feel like the majority of the team probably wants you in there at right guard. That's kind of my assumption, if that's okay. So, I mean, Robert, I do see you as one of a very draft-worthy prospect. I mean, currently on our big board, you're kind of in that 5th to 6th round range. I mean, does that sound like a fair thing? Is that what most people are trying to say, like where you're going to end up?
Yeah, the fifth, sixth, maybe 4th. Just all that day 3.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of those ranges, 4, 5, 6 ranges. Some of those things are really determined like with interviews like this, when you're sitting down with scouts and trying to get them to like you. So it's really just a matter of making one team fall in love with you for sure. So
yeah, for sure.
What do you feel like is your best attribute as a prospect? I mean, do you think it's your versatility? What do you think?
I feel like it's my versatility. A lot of people feel like that I can't play tackle and that I give up the edge, but I feel like I do just fine. I feel like I know I got things to work on. And I feel like that just come with, experience of the game. And I feel like it's that, and also, my strength. I honestly feel like I'm one of the most, physical guys in this draft class. And I feel like I go out there and show it each and every day. And, I feel like that's also one of my attributes.
Yeah, I mean, when I was looking up you and some of the things that you do bring to the table, a lot of comments kept on saying this guy's a very powerful individual, very great upper body strength. Has the ability to have a wide stance and really dominate in the run game. Is what a lot of people were saying. I mean, what do you feel like you said that there were some things maybe that you were trying to work on. What are you trying to get better at these days?
Just being a better football player, just working on my technique and just my understanding of the game. I feel like that just comes with experience and time. And as I keep playing this game and I keep getting coached, I feel like I'm gonna get better at everything as time goes on.
Great. I mean, obviously, had a lot of great coaches there at Middle Tennessee, but you all were also able to go out to Mobile, Alabama, with some coaches out there. So actually, some NFL coaches. Tell me about your experience at the Senior Bowl, and just any story that you want to share about your time there.
The Senior Bowl was amazing. It was a blessing, especially with this year. With COVID taking force on everything. It was just amazing to be able to go out there and participate in football in general. I went out there. It was just me going against the top tier competition from Power 5 level. It just showed me that I belong. Me going out there and getting coached by NFL scouts just showed me that I had what it takes. I just got to just keep getting better and keep having an open mind to everything. Don't dwell on anything. With me being new, with me not having technique and stuff like that. Because at the end of the day, it's gonna come. I just gotta keep doing what I've been doing since I've been in college, and that's being dominant, physical, and having an open mind to learn. And going out there, I met a lot of cool guys. A couple names. I got on the offensive line was Creed, Adrian Ely, Quinn from Whitewater, Dylan. I met a lot of guys. I'm close with right now. I still communicate with some of them. It was a life-changing experience.
Great. And how are your reps out there? I mean, were you taking reps at guard and tackle? I mean, what was your fit out there at the Senior Bowl?
Senior Bowl, I played left guard, left tackle. Left guard and right guard. Through the one-on-ones, they let me take a couple reps at right tackle.
Cool. So, I mean, obviously trying to figure you out, whether it be at left guard, right guard, and even a little bit at right tackle. I mean, again, kind of like we were saying, I mean, your versatility is one of the better attributes that you bring to the table. Tell me about your pro day. I mean, you went out, had your pro day. How do you think you did at your pro day?
I feel like I did. I feel like I did pretty good, especially with the cards I was dealt. Right before my first pro day, I was unfortunate enough to pull my hamstring, so that's when we had to move my pro day back. So, I had 3 weeks to get right. And, I feel like I went out there and I showed them that, I can, compete through pain. No matter what adversity is thrown at me, I'm gonna keep, putting my best foot forward and giving them all. And I feel like me going out there, I showed them that I was focused, and that I took advantage of my time out here in Tampa, and that I was dedicated to the process.
Great. So, were you saying that you were kind of injured during that pro day? Is that what you're kind of alluding to?
Yes, sir.
So, like, which hamstring was it? Was your right or left or?
My right.
You're right. Okay. Well, I mean, how are you with that now? I mean, are you fully recovered? What's your situation like?
Oh yeah, I'm good to go. I'm 100%.
All right, great. Well, I mean, it's nice to hear that you're healthy. I mean, it's definitely first and foremost with everybody these days is health. So,
Sure.
gotta make sure that you're all right. Robert, I was going to ask you, do you see yourself as a leader of a football team? I mean, tell me about you as a potential leader for a franchise.
I feel like I am a leader. I feel like I'm the type of person, who leads by example and try to motivate others. I'm not the type of guy who, be all rah-rah on the field, stuff like that. But, everyone has bad reps. Everyone has bad days. I'm the type of person, who always stay positive and try to, bring others, up and try to bring them along. I feel like as I progress, I try to, make sure we all progress together. That was like my main role at Middle Tennessee. I just tried to be that guy who, no matter what was going on, no matter what type of day I had, I never brought it, to the field, which was my job. And I just, came out there with a positive attitude and do everything I was supposed to do. And basically, I just made everyone follow me.
Right. So I mean, obviously, a lot of guys out there in Middle Tennessee were kind of looking to you as really a model of leadership and maybe what people should be doing out there. Um, let's kind of dive into you as a student of the game. So if we think about you as a student of the game, we're really kind of thinking about like you studying film. So give me an idea of maybe like how you study film, and even if you can give me like an example of how that really played out in the game time situation.
When it comes to studying film, like I try to, I do a lot of things. And like first, I always watch film by myself. I see the tendencies of the people I'm going against. I try to watch all the way down to the threes because you never know who's going to come out there and play, especially this year with COVID. You never knew who you was going to go up against. And I try to watch how the defense played, together from linebackers to D line to the blitzing corners. And I try, get them things down packed if I can understand like in certain situations what I'll be going against. And then, I used to go up there and watch film my coaches also to make sure we was all on the same page. I didn't want to be thinking one thing and it wasn't what my coaches was thinking. I want to make sure I had the right mindset as them going into the, game weeks. And, a perfect example of that was, going against D'Angelo Malone for West Kentucky. He was one of the better players I played against, this year and last year. And, watching him, I just try to, look at his tendencies and like what he like to do. When he got too much pressure, forward, I knew he was coming and basically has angle, how he was angled. I knew how he was gonna try to, give me the kick outside and come right under. And he just always used his hands. So, I used that to prepare and practice. And I used to tell him, my guys, so I go against the practice, give me speed off the edge, give me a different type of looks to try to get me prepared for playing one of the better players in the conference.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, D'Angelo Malone. Again, we're talking about Western Kentucky. I mean, a pretty good pass rusher there. I believe he's staying back for next year. So I mean, obviously, got to watch out for. There. Give me maybe a guy there like that you're leaving behind that a lot of guys need to know. I mean, tell me about somebody there at Middle Tennessee that is going to be there in this upcoming fall.
I mean, I got a couple guys. We got starting off. You got Reed Blankenship. You got Gregory Great Jr. You got Jaron Pierce. You got DQ Thomas. You got newcomer Jonathan Butler. Then you got, CJ Whalen. And, we got a lot of guys out there who going show out this year and put MT on the map. We also got a DN, Jordan Ferguson, who's coming back. And I believe, all the guys I named, I believe it's gonna have a big season and they're gonna be, big name guys coming out this year.
Yeah, I mean, of all the guys that you talked about there, I mean, I think Reed Blankenship for most people is the most recognizable name. Obviously a safety out there, and he's definitely able. He's going to be on a lot of people's boards next year for sure. So I'd be quite honest with you. Like I feel like Jim Nagy might as well just go ahead and put him on the Senior Bowl watch list. Not even joking. I think DQ Thomas is very underrated by most people too. I mean, his versatility is crazy, man. Because he's a sideline to sideline kind of guy that not a lot of people know like what he's able to do, and no one really gives him a lot of credit. And every time you turn on your guys' games, he's everywhere. So definitely a fun guy to watch. What's been your most memorable moment out there? Playing college ball. Most memorable game, most memorable moment of play. What comes to mind for you?
Man, I gotta say, playing against Iowa, waving up to the hospital, I forgot, but like they got the hospital over the stadium. But I say, that was my most memorable moment because, I had a cousin who passed away from cancer. And, just being able to, be in that situation and wave up to them guys who's fighting them things. it made me, stay humble and remember that, we're doing this, not only for us, but, people who's looking up to us as more than football. So, I feel like, nothing ever beat that moment, even me going to the league, just because that moment meant so much.
Right. My next question for you is, I want you to give yourself just a little bit of advice. I mean, if you were able to go back in time a little bit, talk to maybe like your 17-year-old high school self, prepare him for the next 4 or 5 years or what have you. What sort of advice would you give him?
Man, I said, just keep doing the same thing you're doing, because I feel like, the path I took, things I went through, it got me to the situation I am now. And if I can, go back, I do everything exactly the same.
Yeah, I mean, obviously a guy who very early on, I mean, had a lot of uncertainty, ended up going out the JUCO route. And I know for a lot of guys, like they question whether or not, is JUCO the right thing for me? But to be quite honest with you, JUCO is what really I don't know, it makes men out of people, because I mean it makes you really kind of focus on whether or not you truly love this game and really want it. And I mean that's the reason why, like, some people that go out to JUCO, man, they quit.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's sad, but it happens. But and obviously, I mean, it happens everywhere. But I mean, I think even more so at the JUCO level, because people get so discouraged. But for guys like you, I mean, you took advantage of it, and you ended up going out, getting a scholarship offer, going to Middle Tennessee, and being one of their leaders there, and really dominating that offensive line. I know we talked a whole lot about things, but I want to really get to know you outside of football. Tell me a little bit about yourself. Anything that you find interesting, anything unique about you that you want to share with either the scouts or fans.
I love to cook, just as much I love to eat. And a lot of people don't know I'm a huge fan. The women R&B artists like Beyonce, Mariah Carey. I'm a huge fan, behind closed doors. I love to sing, songs, dangerously in love, all type of things.
So are you singing Beyonce in the shower? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Yeah.
All right. Oh man, that just that puts an image in my head that's just it's gonna make me smile all day just thinking about that. What you said that you're a big time cook. I mean, what's some of the better things that you're cooking these days? Like, if I were to come over your house, what you make?
I got you. I make some honey glaze, salmon. I get you make you some crab legs.
That'd be perfect, man. Honey glazed salmon. That's awesome. I mean, that's one of my favorites for sure. But what you said seafood. So seafood is kind of your thing. I mean, that's
yeah, for sure.
All right. That's kind of interesting, because I mean, you grew up in the Chicago area, so I'm sitting here thinking, like, why is this dude into seafood? I mean, most people from Chicago are like big like pizza lovers. So,
man, it's good. It really came from being in Chicago. I really never had those type of foods. So when I came to Tennessee, Kansas, I started trying them different foods, and then I fell in love with it. So ever since then, I've just been trying new things.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, shoot, you can make your way like out to Maryland where I'm at, man. They love their seafood. You can get some crab. I mean, I'm certain that some of those teams are already looking at you. So who knows? I mean, where you end up. I mean,
yeah, for sure.
But hey, as we begin to wrap up, I always try and ask that why question. Tell me a little bit about why you play football and some of your motivation, if you don't mind.
Why I play football is, obviously because of my family, my little sisters, my little cousin that look up to me, but, also my motivation is, where I come from. No one thought I could be in this position I am now, coming from where I come from, the hard route. Like, I never thought I'd be, in college and graduate from college. So, when I look back, it's a lot of people that's going through the things I went through. And, I just want to be that, that motivation to them and show them that, what you're experiencing right now, it's only temporary. If you keep pushing, you know, you can be successful in wherever you want to be in life. You know, that's really my motivation.
Great. And very lastly, I want you to give your pitch to all those teams out there in the NFL. I mean, I'm pretty sure that you sat down with a lot of them, you know, whether it be like at the Senior Bowl or any other, you know, your pro day or any other time, because I mean, these guys are always up in your face, you know, trying to book interviews. So glad that I was able to book this one because it's kind of hard, you know. But give your pitch to all those teams as to why they should draft you and what kind of teammate you would be for their franchise.
You know, me, I just feel like, you know, I'm a hard worker. You know, I'm gonna work. I'm gonna stay quiet, keep my head down, grind. No matter what situation I'm put in, I'm gonna always give my all, put my best foot forward. You know, and I'm so new to this. I'm not a finished product, so I got so much to learn, and I'm barely tapping into my potential. And I feel like, you know, whoever give me the opportunity, I'm gonna give it my all. And in a couple of years, I'm gonna be one of the best guards in the NFL.
Gotcha. Well, it may not be a guard. It could be a tackle for all we know, man. Let's not limit ourselves.
Yeah, for sure.
But Robert, man, this is great. I mean, I do, again, like I had said before, I do feel like you are going to get drafted at some point between that 4th and 6th round range. I think a lot of it is just solely dependent on you. Just, I don't know, making some scout fall in love with you. You know, hopefully we kind of shared in that journey, and hopefully there are some people that have seen this video that have been able to, you know, really kind of fall in love with you, really want you for their franchise. So yeah, I mean, it's been great. Again, I feel like you are a very formidable offensive lineman. You know, very very powerful. You know, guy that you can really dominate. I know, especially in the run game, but also like you said, I mean, a sponge, willing to soak it up, willing to, you know, do new things, you know, whether, you know, you're playing guard or tackle. I mean, obviously a guy that brings immediate depth to any team's, you know, program. So definitely do wish you the best moving forward. All right, bud?
Yes, sir. Thank you. Appreciate it.
You're welcome. Again, this is Robert Jones. He's the offensive lineman out of Middle Tennessee State. Definitely check him out.
So.